It's not Morbin time. It's Pooh-in time.
I'm in no mood for your juvenile quips.
Such a missed opportunity. It's such a missed opportunity they didn't release a honey pot popcorn bucket for this movie like they did with Dune. You have no idea how many takes it did for me to say honey pot popcorn bucket. The sequel to the brilliant Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie is finally here, and it debuted with a perfect score of 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Without sounding like the bald idiot, has there been a glitch in the Matrix here? 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. In this video, we're going to look at why the f that is. Especially when you consider what a turnaround that is from the first one. And speaking of the first movie, if you haven't already, go check out my video about all things Blood and Honey 1, where I recap the first movie and watch it so that you don't have to. You're welcome. Now, the first movie had a modest budget of only $50,000 and made a huge profit, making $5.2 million worldwide. And despite an almost impressively low critic score of 3%, audiences were kinda with a 50% score. I imagine that was a split right down the middle between people that thought it was a bad movie and people that thought it was a bad movie but so bad it was good. It's a bad movie whatever way you square it. I think with movies like this, or well, any movie really, but particularly with a movie like this, where the premise is dumb, the action scenes are goofy and cheesy, you want to go into it expecting to have a good time where you laugh at it. If you go into a movie like Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey and expect it to be a low-budget, fan-made movie, and you're open to having a good laugh at it, you'll be entertained. But naturally, because of that $5 million, a sequel was greenlit, and just like how the first movie was rushed out after the Winnie the Pooh character went into the public domain, another one has been rushed out with the sequel being released at the end of March of this year, literally a week ago at the time of me recording this. So, is it true it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? Yes, it is. That actually happened. But, Pooh, bear in mind, this was only after like the first 6 or 7 critics saw the movie. But still, who are these reviewers? The friends and family, the director? Like, what were they bribed to give this score? As of the time of this recording, happy April Fool's Day by the way, that score has been slashed in half to only 50% now, with 26 reviewers now having seen the film. The audience score remains pretty high, however, sitting at a solid 80%. Now, it was expected that the sequel would be a lot better than the original because 1, it couldn't get any bloody worse. And 2, the budget was much bigger. 10 times bigger, allegedly, at $500,000. That's almost $500,000.
The IQ of a official genius.
And it shows. The prosthetics are much better. The first movie's effects are fine, if Pooh and Piglet are meant to be just some freaks in cheap masks, but they're meant to be these like half-human, half-animal hybrids. And even Stevie Wonder could see that this is a lot closer to being that than this. This time round, screenwriter Matt Leslie was brought in. He wrote 2018 horror movie Summer of '84, which is a well-regarded film. So what's the story of Pooh 2? Well, I'm going to spoil the whole movie for you, and it is wild. So if you don't want to know what happens when you go and watch it yourself for the first time, now is the time to get out. Drop a like, come back to this video. So, spoiler time. Despite everybody looking different from costume upgrades to a new actor, the movie directly picks up from the first one. Christopher Robin escaped Pooh and Piglet's rampage in 100 Acre Wood and returns to his childhood town of Ashdown to seek help. When the bodies of all those TikTok bitches from the first movie are found, Chris is accused of murdering them. The whole town then thinks he's on some incel shit and he's outcast.
I'm just trying to tell you, I ain't did nothing.
Christopher has PTSD and nightmares about Winston Pooh Bear and goes to see a hypnotherapist to sort himself out. Putting his fresh adult trauma to one side, these therapy sessions bring up his childhood trauma of his twin brother Billy being kidnapped in the woods and never seen again. Now, when I first saw this in the trailers, I was like, this is just a copy of Five Nights at Freddy's. And turns out it is. It is just that. Anyway, back to the woods. Pooh and Piglet, who I thought was dead after getting hammered in the first movie, but I don't know, who really cares, have gone into hiding along with their friends Tigger and Owl, who were there all along and aren't new characters, so shut up, just go with it. Because some people believe Chris's story, they feel like they have to keep a low profile now. But just like any friend of Jeffrey Epstein, they can't resist young girls, and kill 3 uni students they find in an RV. Owl tells Pooh they should just go for it and take on the town of Ashdown instead of just killing off randoms every now and then who happen to come into the woods. Pooh is like, maybe, but when some hunters come along and want to make a bacon sarnie out of Piglet and Pooh goes apeshit and kills them, he's then like, you know what, Al? You're right, let's hit the town.
We're ready for a night out on the town.
Chris finds out one of these hunters actually survived, so he goes to the hospital to be like, hey, can you back me up and tell the world that they're all real? But randomly, it's the hospital janitor he starts talking to, who tells him that he used to work for some evil doctor who forced him to kidnap kids in the town, so that this Dr. Evil could use them as lab rats for experiments with animal genes. Sure. Anyway, the kids didn't survive and their bodies were hidden in the 100 Acre Wood, but they came back to life as the half-animal, half-human hybrids that are probably this town's greatest tourist attraction now. Because of the experiments, the Pooh crew all have enhanced healing abilities too. And guess who is one of those kidnapped kids? Of course, Christopher's brother Larry.
No, it's not Larry.
I've forgotten his name. What was his name? I just went with Larry off the top of my head.
Larry! 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 Larry!
Billy. Christopher's twin brother Larry.
A.K.A. Billy.
And guess which creature Billy came back as? That's right, Eeyore, who they all ate in the first movie. No, I'm kidding. Not about Eeyore being eaten. That happened. That was horrible. Talk about kicking a half man when he's down. But of course, Billy came back as Pooh. Imagine being reincarnated as Pooh. I mean, I've met some shits in my time, so it makes sense. Anyway, why this janitor just blurted out all this exposition out in the hospital, I don't know. I'm envisioning him just pulling Chris aside after he grabs something from the vending machine and being like, oh, by the way, thought you should know. And then he unalives himself. There and then. Out of guilt, apparently. I mean, dying at work is smart for your family and all that with insurance, but Christopher's probably going to be done for this murder too. But anyway, Chris tells everyone that Pooh and his friends are real and coming to town. How he knows this, I don't know. But everyone just still thinks he's crackers, so ignores him.
Oh, okay. Oh, you crazy.
He's proven right though, obviously, when Pooh, Tigger and Al go on a killing spree through the town, just like we all used to do when we were bored on Fable 2. One of the people killed is Christopher's best mate Finn, short for finished. His life.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Terrible joke, I'm sorry, but terrible franchise to be fair, so it fits. Anyway, Chris tells everyone that Pooh and his friends are real and coming to town. Oh, I've read that bit. Pooh then kills Christopher's parents, Alan and Daphne, and kidnaps his younger sister Helen, nicknamed Bunny for some reason, I wonder why. Hint, hint, hint. Christopher's girlfriend Sexy Lexi is also attacked but survives, and hang on. This movie takes place right after the first one, where his girlfriend dies in the beginning of that one.
What?
So either this time jumps again, or Chris had a side hoe in waiting. Anyway, there's a rave going down and Pooh and the gang are pissed that they weren't invited, so they kill everyone. Chris and his latest woman manage to kill Tigger, who just says bitch in this whole movie. That's all he says is bitch.
Better watch where you go, bitch.
But then they realise that Bunny has been kidnapped. They head to the woods and fight Pooh, who squashes them instantly. But Christopher calls Pooh by his old name of
Billy,
which forces him to remember his human childhood. But then he remembers that he abandoned him, and it's his fault they had to eat Eeyore. I'm not even joking, that's what he says. I mean, to be fair, Billy abandoned Chris first when you think about it. Anyway, Christopher wants to end this franchise just like the rest of us. Oh, not really, I'm loving it. And kills Pooh with an axe. Oh yeah, and he saves his sister rabbit thing or whatever. Everyone now believes Chris because seeing is believing. Al is the only creature who survived and he somehow recovers the bodies of Pooh, Piglet and Tigger and promises to find a way to revive them with, wait for it, some old friends that he knows. And I know, this is going to sound like a joke, but I swear to you, this is the truth. With the help of some old friends, and we then see the drawings of Bambi, Peter Pan, and Pinocchio. Because if you didn't know, welcome to the Twisted Childhood universe. There's so many more of these coming, and it's all going to culminate in the Poohniverse. I know I said I'm filming this on April Fool's Day, but this is real. And that'll be the next video on this channel, exploring? And that'll be the next video on this channel, exploring the Poohniverse. What is my life come to? So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to be notified of when that video comes out. And drop a like if you enjoyed this video and check out all the other videos on this channel while you're here. I want to hear your thoughts about all this as always, so let me know with a comment below. Of course, Blood and Honey 3 has been announced, so there'll be a video on that in the future. Probably by the end of the year, the way they're knocking them out, and it'll debut with 200% on Rotten Tomatoes. So why did this get such good reviews, you ask? Because Pooh has a mother flaming chainsaw, that's why. I don't know if it'll retcon Blood and Honey 2 like this one retconned Blood and Honey 1. Said Blood and Honey too much now, I'm just going Blood and Honey. Anyway, take care of yourselves, mates. Don't let the bastards grind you down. And I'll see Pooh, and I'll see you in the next one.
I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You you ain't seen the rest. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me